New intro. So much love and appreciation to those of you who have been with me for the 2 year period plus that I've been doing this. Thank you for showing your love and support to the channel. And to anybody else who is brand new to the platform and you would like to support the channel, also, you can do it by way of Patreon, Anchor, the clothing store, and also the shoe shop that is listed in the comment description below. And again, thank you to any and all of you guys who have been here to support this channel during the 2+ year period. I wouldn't be able to do what I do every single day without you. I'm going to read this from the autopsy report. Complications of cardiopulmonary arrest sustained after physical struggle while restrained in the prone position. Developed cardiopulmonary arrest after handcuffs applied while restrained in the prone position the morning of 9/24/2021. Hospitalized on 9/24/2021. Status post cardiopulmonary resuscitation. Hospital course complicated by anoxic brain injury, acute respiratory failure, and acute kidney injury. Pulmonary congestion and edema and acute bronchopneumonia, abrasions and contusions. COVID-19 positive per hospital records. Toxicology studies are positive for carboxy tetrahydrocannabinol in the urine. Cause of death, complications of cardiopulmonary arrest sustained after physical struggle while restrained in the prone position. Manner, homicide. Circumstances of passing. According to reports, the descendant ran away from his foster home 9/21/2021 and returned around 0000 hours on 9/24/2021, exhibiting erratic and aggressive behavior towards his foster family. Law enforcement personnel responded to the scene, and the descendant was taken into custody with the intention of taking him to a behavior health unit at a local hospital. While in custody with the descendant, assaulted one or more of the officers around him, and he was taken to the Sedgwick County Juvenile Intake and Assessment Center, or the JIAC, to be processed, arriving in wrap restraint system. Video footage of subsequent events at the JIAC facility is reviewed and correlates with the timeline of events provided by law enforcement. The descendant was placed in a cell at approximately 02:45 hours, and the wrap system and handcuffs were subsequently removed by officers. A staff member opened the door to the cell at 04:20 hours, allowing the descendant to enter the lobby. In the lobby, the descendant approached the staff member, who then motioned to another staff member to enter the lobby. The descendant was uncooperative and agitated. At around 04:26 hours, two staff members grabbed a hold of the descendant's upper extremities, and shortly thereafter, the descendant freed his right upper extremity and punched one of the staff members in the head. Members then struggled with the descendant and restrained him in a nearby room with assistance of additional staff members. Shackles were placed around the descendant's ankles, and he was moved to the floor at around 04:33 hours and rolled to the prone position. The descendant continued to struggle while restrained by staff. Handcuffs were applied with the descendant's hands behind his back at 05:08 hours, after which the descendant calmed down, making occasional snoring sounds. Staff members were unable to locate a pulse at around 05:12 hours. The descendant was rolled onto his back, and staff were still unable to find a pulse nor elicit a response to sternal rub. At around 05:13 hours, staff initiated chest compressions and called for rescue personnel. Rescue personnel arrived on the scene and resumed resuscitation efforts. With eventual return of spontaneous circulation, he was transported to a local hospital where his hospital course was complicated by acute respiratory failure, acute kidney injury, and anoxic brain injury. His urine drug screening was positive for cannabinoids. The descendant also tested positive for COVID-19. The descendant remained unresponsive, and brain death was pronounced at around 01:55 hours on 9/26/2021. Long story short, the reason why this young man, this 17-year-old young man who was 130 something pounds, is no longer here with us is because the police took his life. Is because the people that were there that were supposed to make sure that the same way he came in is the same way that he's going to leave out, they were the ones that made sure that he didn't leave out. Now, you're going to have some people out here in the media that are going to say, well, if he wasn't acting erratic, and if he wasn't this, and if he wasn't on these narcotics, then he wouldn't have been restrained. If he wasn't acting so right, they'll always give a justification, right? And just by that little bit, of that being in there, where they were stating that, hey, he was on, marijuana or whatever it was, he had it in the system. They're going to try to list that as a reason as to why it is a justification, for why it is that Cedric was able to have his life taken. And they like to do that over and over and over and over again. Mind you, when it's their own people and they're suffering from, an OD or a variety of other effects from the narcotics that they're not supposed to be taking at all, that they'll get angry if police don't try to resuscitate them. If police are combative or not understanding, empathetic, with them and their circumstances, because they're quote unquote going through a mental condition, a mental illness, they're going through a mental breakdown, and they had to look towards something which was narcotics in order to calm, in order to bring them back to a state of sensibility and logic, right? But like I said, long story short, the police did it. I would love to see a lot of the individuals out there that were former police or that are still police that are black, that always want to talk against black people. I would love to hear them cover this, because 9 times out of 10, you already know what they're going to do. They're going to sit up there and say, up, it was 100% justified. It was 100% justified. They had, another course of action, in order to do. If maybe he was more cooperative, maybe if he didn't have narcotics on the system, maybe he would still be here. But if we were to look at all the facts, right, he's the main cause of this, right? Right? He's the one that decided to run away and then come back home, right? The police were then called on him. The police then responded, right? And then he was combative with police, right? Would then initiate another response from police, which then they took him somewhere else instead of him leaving him back at the home. And then one thing led to another, which led to another, which led to another, which now led to him not being here, right? That's how they're going to point it. They're going to 100% point it to, oh, it's his fault. He's the reason why all of this basically took place. So, like I said before, my only hope is that, the relatives or the family of this young man, they sue the police and they sue the state, because this should not have happened at all to a 17. We're not talking about a grown 40-year-old man that's 280 pounds, Hercules mode, just tossing people left and right. That's not what we're talking about. We're talking about a 17-year-old that was more than likely frightened and scared. He's seen the news. He sat up there and saw what happened to a lot of young people when they're in custody with police. So yeah, his heart was more than likely racing. Yeah, he had adrenaline basically going. He was in fight or flight mode, because we don't know specifically what types of things that they were saying to him before and after and during. Now, we've had other videos letting us hear the body cam, and letting us hear the conversations and see the actions of a lot of these officers when they have a lot of our people locked behind bars and they treat them, like stray animals. But these are the same people that are quote unquote supposed to care about animals, though, right? Notice that. So, it's crazy. It's crazy. The things that take place, the things that happen, and they will try to 100% justify this and pin it on this young man. And the most that they can sit up there and say that, oh, we have a few officers that are on leave. Anybody that was a part of this, they're on leave. Yeah, they're on leave with pay. So which means that they're paid killers. That's all that is. They're paid killers. That's great. We already knew that's what y'all like to pretty much do. Be paid killers. But when you try to explain this to other individuals out here, people just act like they don't want to see it. But like I keep telling people, for all of those police and cop supporters, the moment in time that y'all keep allowing things like this to happen to black people, the same exact thing is going to transpire to you and your family by way of the exact same people that you love, support, and want to hold down, and all this other type of stuff. So when it starts happening, and it's already started to happen, don't sit up there and start crying to black people. Don't start coming to black people talking about, oh, we got to come together. We got to do this and we got to stand as one. No, 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 no. Because when we asked you to do the right things, when we asked you to stand up, when we asked you to speak for us, when we asked you to actually do something about your boys, about your dragons that you decided to unleash, on cities and on people, and they burn those down to asunder, guess what? Those dragons are not going to go back home. Animals always remember, right, where home is, where they were born, where they were brought up. So after they're done destroying the black community and destroying black people, capturing them and doing whatever they want to sit up there and do, they're going to go right back to their masters. And they're not going to come back friendly. They're not going to come back calm. They're going to come back like rabid dogs, and they're going to come directly after you. Because the main thing that a lot of people out here don't understand is that fat meat means greasy. People don't understand that. But soon enough, you're going to sit up there and learn. But anyways, let me know what you guys think about the story and everything that I listed in the comment description below. And as always, peace, love, and stay tuned for the next video.